Hey guys, in this episode, we talk with Jake Smith, who is a photographer slash videographer slash editor slash overall dope dude. In this episode, we go over breaking down systems from working at a larger company, key questions you need to be constantly asking yourself, and why creating evergreen content slash products is the way to go. Let's go. Coconut. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Roberto Guido.
And my name is Marissa Lewis.
And together we are
the Dos Cocos Locos.
And welcome to our podcast.
So our goal with this podcast is to drop as much coconut fire, which is our way of saying life/business knowledge bombs, for creatives that don't necessarily know much about life or business, through conversations with one another as well as with other fellow creatives and dope people.
Our story has a lot of twists and turns, but basically we started by selling coconuts at the beach, and now we have our own photography and videography business. And it's through these conversations that we were able to really learn how to navigate this thing called life. Enjoy. So Jake and I have been really good friends since college, and then this is technically our third podcast, right?
It's technically our 15th, but
basically, bro. But this has been a long time in the making. Jake, thank you just for being patient, bro. I know,
yeah. Honestly, I don't know what happened. Literally every time we would go to someone up, something fell through. We couldn't drive up to Orlando that day.
You guys got engaged. Fuck that. That was
stupid. You here.
What a terrible way to shut me down on my interview. Thanks, Robert.
It can't happen today.
That's so funny, man. But no, seriously, every time we talk to you, bro, we always leave with more insight on how we should do either business or just kind of life in general. So just thank you so much for your friendship in general, bro.
Yeah, of course. We always have good talks. It's always fun.
Yeah, bro. So I know you your main thing is photography, but now you've kind of been a little bit more as far as content creator, editor. In one sentence, how would you explain who Bearded Lens Photo is?
Well, there's kind of two halves right now, which we can dive into later. But there's the more the side that gets paid is the side that creates content for a business coach from England. So I work full time for a guy that teaches physical therapists how to run their business, how to get their clients to pay cash and pay $350, $400 a session, all through sales techniques and psychology. So that half of me, Beard Lens, whatever you want to call it, is creating podcasts, daily videos, kind of like Gary Vee style, and just distributing content to our community. So it's very B2B. We're not trying to get everyone on it. The content is for everyone, but that's not our target market. And then what I like to do is work with businesses creating their brand through just images that help represent them. So just do branding photos and help people get their content. But I think I'm going to have to start branching out into a freelance creative person, kind of like what I'm doing full time. I think that's kind of going to be the direction I'm going to go.
That's exciting.
I feel it, bro. Dang.
I like to say jack of all trades, master of none, which is a terrible thing. So I'm trying to stick just to photography, but people make it hard when they want other things. So
bro, that's something that we realized real quick. So when we started Dos Cocos Locos 2 years ago, so Marissa would do photo, I would do video. Mm-hmm. But even then, we're all right, at least we have some competitive edge. We're doing a little bit of both. But even then, we realized real quick, we can't just stay here because there was other people that we saw in the Tampa area that were doing graphics, they were doing animations, they were doing all this stuff, and we're
as one person, you're
yeah. We're we need to step it up.
Yeah, bro. And it's kind of stressful sometimes, but it's actually kind of cool because then you're literally I can just do whatever I want basically, and if I learn something that I can do, then I can use that as an advantage. And that's kind of how gifts kind of happen for us randomly, and even during this time during Corona, it's actually been very helpful because. You don't need to actually meet up with anybody. It's all digital, and then you just send it over, and they digitally download it. And honestly, digital products right now is something that we're really focusing on because we're basically you can you have no what's it called when you put money down for something.
Overhead.
There's no upfront investment finance.
Yeah. And there's no overhead. You don't have to have a stock or anything.
Exactly.
So so the windows the ceiling is not even there, bro. You can just keep going. So we're dang. So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now, a little bit. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's the best thing you could do. There's anyone that listens to this, and this is a suggestion for you guys. There's a really good guy called Ben Hartley. He has a podcast called Six Figure Photography, and he just had an episode come out like 5 days ago, I think. And there's a couple that was talking about the exact same thing. They do. They have an Etsy shop, and they have like 11 products. So they'll be like, how to get leads on Instagram, PFD, and like you pay like let's say $15. And their Etsy shop just runs because Etsy has their own SEO, and they just market through that. And that's like one of their side incomes. They do some consulting work. They shoot weddings. So I think your idea of the digital thing's the perfect thing to invest time in. I mean, you're probably noticing how much it takes to build it.
Yeah.
It's like a shit ton of work up front.
Too much work, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's one of those things that when you get that like deposit in your bank account, it's one of the best things you can see. Like that's one of the things I've learned with Paul, who's my boss. We have these things called Evergreen courses, which are just like a digital course that people just buy and take over a week or two, and they learn everything, and they pay like $600-700 for it. Like who the fuck doesn't want $700 when they wake up?
Yeah, I take that. Yeah. I take that.
Yeah, easy.
Hey man. So like the stuff that you're creating stuff for like your coach, right?
Yeah, employer, boss, whatever you want to call them.
Boss man.
So is that are you kind of like taking notes and being like, okay, what can I do to kind of like do it for myself kind of thing? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So like what's like your biggest takeaway so far as like doing that?
It's the biggest thing I've noticed is everyone has their threshold of being crazy is the best way to say it. Because we work, and I'll peel this back for you. We have a community of like 400 business owners, and there's probably 150 in our higher level like mastermind community. So like that I interact with. The other ones are like in a monthly one group coaching call kind of thing. They pay a small fee, but then we have a group of business owners that pay about $1,000 a month to get coached by us. 150 times 1,000, that's 150,000 a month incoming revenue. And there's some people that are in a higher bracket than that. So I've noticed that everyone to get the work done has their own threshold of insanity. Like my boss, there's a reason why he's all the way up here. There's a reason why Paul's at the top, because he spent the past 15 years just like only writing. He jokes about it with everyone that he doesn't even screw in light bulbs in his house. Like, I don't want to get to that level. That's not my level of insanity. Like, I just cut the grass today. I'm gonna hang up photos and screw in light bulbs. He's like, fuck that. I'd rather be writing or thinking or reading a book. Like, yeah. So for everyone, it depends on where you want to get, really. If you want to build out this store and have it to be 15 products with, $50,000 worth of content in there people can buy, you can do it. And if you invest the time, it's easy, but I don't think I'm going to get that crazy,
Yeah, I feel that.
Everyone has their own like quality of life.
Dude, I feel like what you're trying to talk about is like really important. Like, just like being honest with like who you are, like knowing who you are.
Yeah.
That's ultimately like,
and where you want to invest your time.
Yeah, like that should be like the foundation of like any decision. Because like even right now, like during this quarantine time, people are still saying like chase your dreams, like do your thing, and that's something that we always like push to. But like you have to be like real with yourself too. If you know that like this is stressful, like this lifestyle that we live is super stressful, and I think people don't really like see that sometimes. But like knowing what you want before you even start going is like super powerful, because like later on down the road, once you like hit those bumps or all this other stuff, it's gonna get crazy, bro.
Yeah. And we just touched on like the time aspect and how much you want to put into each little bucket of your life. Like, just find out what works for you. Some people like working at night until the sun comes up. I like working only when the sun's out. Like once it's nighttime, every single night I have something I want to do, but I usually fuck off and go watch Netflix or fall asleep on the couch or just lay in my bed because like the sun's down. Like I don't, I can only really work from 8 a.m. until 8 o'clock at night. And then once that hits, I'll eat dinner, then I'm done.
There you go. Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm the total opposite. Are you like a morning person though, or like an 8-9 morning person?
Right now I'm kind of forced because from Monday to Friday I have to clock in, but so I start then at 9, which makes me get up at like 7:30. But if I had a choice, which is what I was doing before, I like waking up at like 5:30.
Okay.
And like walk the dog, because I used to drive to Celebration, which is like an hour.
Yeah.
So I'd walk the dog and I'd get in the office at 7, and I work 7 to 3. Then when I get off work, I'd come home, run, then I'm done running at 5, do work until like 6, cook dinner, and then my days, I still have so much time. I used to work 10 to 6. So when I was working 10 to 6, I hated it. I didn't want to wake up that early to go to the gym, run and read. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to sleep in.
Right.
Yeah.
But then my night was going until 1 or 2 in the morning because I could wake up at 9. So again, it's all about how you want to like optimize your day. And so for me, I'm a morning person. Yeah. To answer your question.
I aspire to be that. And but I think it's fine. I think it's fine where I'm at right now. I am appreciate where I'm like an 8-9 person on if I have a choice.
I mean, with structure comes freedom. That's one of the best things I've ever learned. Once you have a rigid structure, you can really get a lot done.
That's accurate. That is very accurate. So how was the jump to going to like a full-time creative kind of job for you?
Wild. It was like, yeah, it's weird because like the company I'm in is only 12 people. So it's not like a massive marketing team. Like it's worth a lot of money, but we all are just so efficient and like everyone does this one thing really well. And that's how we can all kind of just keep the machine moving. But you're used to almost having full control when you work by yourself and like ask the client what they want. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. What do you want to do here? Can we kind of tweak it? You're more hands-on. And I really wanted to do that when I came in. And I was like, what about this? Like, can I take like 30 minutes to get some sounds done and like look at some of this shit? And my boss was like, look, we're going to spend 2 hours and we're going to find 15 songs and that's going to be it for forever. I was like, what?
Well, okay.
That sounds whack. Like, I don't want to do that. But there's, if you go to his Instagram, his name's Paul Gough on Instagram, Gough, anyone listening, but everything I do every day is the exact same thing, which gets kind of repetitive and boring and you're running out of shit to do, but you have to keep it fresh because we have such a tiny niche client we're trying to get. And once we get one person, they end up spending probably on average, if they ever drop out, they'll probably spend $25,000, $30,000 with us.
Wow. Yeah.
So if I bag one person off of a video, that's the exact same one as the last video, just finally clicked with someone. All right. Well, I did my job. So getting my head around that was the hardest thing.
That's interesting. How do you keep it fresh then? If you're like, because I know you have to put out like the same kind of message. So how are you finding new inspiration to be like, all right, let me say it this way instead of
it's luckily we are moving so many products out at a time. Like we will launch a new course or put out a new version of a course every 3 months, like every quarter. So there's like 2 weeks every quarter that I'm doing a big launch and like finding new graphics and new references from like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone, and I kind of refresh everything. So that's kind of fun because I get 2 days to kind of just lock down and like really go dig. And I like doing that. And then once it starts getting repetitive, I spend more time on the podcast. Like I try to find something really good or like spend the extra hour to go find all the good videos we had from the last month and make a special edition podcast and like writing the script. And I have a different staff member do an intro every day. So we put out 5 podcasts a week and every day it's someone new. So I'm like keeping track in my head, like, okay, who did it here? Like, let's bring this person in. Or like, if we have one coach that teaches one course for like staff members of a business, I have him do the intro. So like I put his little taste on it and I write everything.
Dang.
So it's just repetition.
Yeah. It's like going to the gym kind of thing. Like
every day. And it's like exhausting by the end of the day. Like my brain's just wrung out like a towel.
Yeah. Holy crap. So since you have so much time, like editing all these podcasts, like what would be like your one top suggestion for someone who's either thinking about starting a podcast or continuing on? Like, what's one thing that makes a podcast like good and stand out from other podcasts?
You need your USP, which if you guys know is a unique selling proposition. So it's like, hey, this is the Cocos, Locos podcast. We want to help creatives with X, Y, Z. And you have to be speaking to that one person you want that's going to listen. And that's what you focus on. And then you just need a system and a process. I mean, those are the 2 biggest words I've ever learned in the past year, system and process, which system, it happens this way. It goes out here, on here, every time. Consistent. So your viewers, like it's more psychology. Like your viewers don't have to think. you know, where if they hear the intro song that's the same every time, or like the same 3 intro songs, like, okay, now I'm getting used to it. And then your voiceover comes in Coconut Fire, and then boom. And then the process is just the written way. Like, you know, we record on Zoom, download it, take timestamps or key things that are said so we can chop it into shorts, and then you send it to your editor. And then within a day, he gives you all your cuts, boom, 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 and he sends them all back. That's a process. So just streamline it.
Damn. That's freaking crazy. I think it literally took us 2 years to finally get to a point where we're like slowly getting to, we're like, yo, we just need to have like these things. Like we didn't really know the words.
Yep.
We were like, we need to have like these things that we already have like prepackaged. So when we client come to us if they want like a shoot or like gifts or something, we just have to have it prepackaged, all the information there, and then just give it to them, and then like change it up to kind of fit what their needs are. And we can just keep focusing on whatever we're editing.
Yeah.
Like the word system, I don't know where the word system came out, but like
honestly, no idea.
Like,
I think someone might have said it to us.
Someone
like,
said it.
oh yeah, that's what we're working on.
That's what we're doing. We're working like on a flow, and we're like,
yeah,
like holy crap.
But think about it this way: like, how many times have you had a client ask you, "How would you shoot a video for me?" Yeah. And how many times you sent the same email? Hey Becky, what we do is we like to get on a phone interview with you for 45 minutes. Then we like to take some notes, and we like to do X, Y, Z. Yep. Why don't you just fucking save that email with hey underline, replace Becky's name, copy and paste it in Gmail, because they let you save templates in Gmail, and just send it. Like, you saved yourself 30 minutes just writing.
You save templates in Gmail?
Yeah. The fuck?
What the fuck?
All right, so we're definitely doing it way hard. I think.
Okay, so we do have templates, but I did not know you could save them in Gmail.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Okay. I think.
Mind blown.
I think from like a small business standpoint, when we first entered this, we're like, all right, everything has to be personalized, like done like right then and there. So to keep it real, keep it fresh. But like, there's gonna be a point in time where you get to like just to handle all the workload, you're gonna need to just save time, and that does save time. And like, you're still being real because you're the one that created the template,
and you're still like personalizing it with like a name or the business name or whatever you're subsidiarily asking for. Yeah. But you do already have a general guideline that makes it easier. That makes
And then all you do is just say, I see you do X, Y, Z. We've shot this one thing with this one lady 2 years ago, and it was awesome. Here's the video. It's kind of like that. Do you like it? Let's get on a phone call. Next email, you know? The next one's super short. And like,
you don't need to explain all that. Holy crap.
Yeah. And it's like I said, start with the podcast, but everything's a system and a process, and everything. We have an accountant in our group he says business is just people and numbers. Like, you bring numbers in, you manage these people, and that's it. Like, nothing ever changes. There gets to be more people you're dealing with, and there's more numbers coming in when you get bigger. Nothing else changes.
That's really true.
Like, what would you say is like the most important type of people that you need in your group in order to have like a successful business?
People that, are you talking about growing, or are you talking about working with people, or people you work with?
A little bit of both. Just kind of like the creative side, number side, future looking ahead side.
Like top to bottom. Like what types of people do you need?
Like if you,
I think
the skeleton.
Yeah, I think if you want to be effective and you want to be a good business owner, you have to, you really have to focus on what are you bad at, and get rid of that shit right away. Like, that you can't even focus on doing that. If you guys are awful at like editing podcasts and you don't want to spend the 2 hours, go fucking hire someone to do it, because those 2 hours that you're sitting there like, I don't want to do this, you can be editing a video, and Marissa could be doing phone calls to get more clients or more podcast interviews. Like, if that's number one, if you want to work faster, you need people around you that are going to help you, and you're okay paying them. And it's basically just outsourcing. If you read 4-hour work week, that's all it is. He talks about hiring people to do work for you that you don't want. Same thing with like culling photos, Marissa. If you have 800 images, and instead of having to go through every single one, and like that one's out of focus, that one, fucking pay some kid $20 at the high school to do it, and he gets experience in the Lightroom.
Yeah. Wow, I got to do that.
And like, that's such a small percentage of whatever you're getting paid for that shoot. So like, it's just, you just spend more time, getting more connections. And then externally, I think you need people that understand that you're not really there. You're not, like, if you're externally, your friends, your peers, and your family have to understand that you need to focus on your own journey, And if you're not interested in their conversation or you don't want to come over for dinner or board games or whatever, it's not personal. You know, they have to really accept that like you're focusing on your own thing. So like I live with 2 roommates, and some nights I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to lock myself in and work on my website or something. Like, okay, no sweat. But I have to balance it because I'm not just going to be an asshole. I'm just sitting here all day. I do that already during the day when I'm working, so I can't do it all night. But yeah, there are two types of people. Someone that's going to help you just offload everything and help you work more efficiently. Again, a system. So if you have one editor, right, and then he's screwing off for a while and you could go hire someone new, well, I really hope you have it documented into a process. Hey, this is how you log in. These are the details. This is the workflow. This is how you're going to open it. This is how you're going to save it. So when you bring someone else in or you bring in an extra person to help you out, it's already written up. You just send them it, boom, done.
Then you're good to go.
Yeah, you just already have to have like everything. You have to know your system, like your process, in order to explain it to someone else. You might as well write it down. Something you actually do have to like hire someone on.
Yeah. Imagine how much of a pain in the ass it would be if every 3 months you had to bring someone else in new for the same job and you had to retrain them for 5 days.
Yeah.
Instead of just spending the 3 hours it takes to write everything down and fucking just handing it to them saying, here you go.
Manual.
Get on. I'll pay you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest, and I think that's what's kind of something we're really hammering on is just like consistency is the only way that you're ever going to get anything done, which is what everyone says.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing you have to keep hammered down and consistent.
That's true. So now that you know all this information and you know about systems and processes and how to successfully like basically run a content business, how are you using all this information to like grow your own business? So I know that's kind of the avenue you're trying to go towards. Yeah,
I'm not trying to stay with what I'm doing forever. That would be crazy. It'd be suicide because everyone wants to live their own life. Yeah. You know, that's why we all get started in this. I think the biggest thing that I've come to realize is that you have to focus on one thing at a time, and you have to think more than you do. So, like, there's a lot of shit I've wanted to do in the past 2 years, and I've done most of it, but I haven't finished it. By the way, the book's finished. It's just not coming out because I don't want to put it out because I want to focus on things that are going to make me money now. So this past month, I just spent 4 weeks getting I literally paid for a course to get all these email templates, systems, everything already written up for me, and just had a coach for a month. And then now this whole month, I'm going to be trying to get new clients, and I'm going to be building out a course, because when I build that out, it's just going to, like we already talked about, it's just going to be sitting there.
Yeah.
And as it grows and I start building this idea I have, I want to be able to get a group of people that kind of like what my boss has, a group of people that just pay me a lot of money instead of a lot of people that pay me a little bit of money.
Right. That makes sense.
So that's kind of my new goal. That's one thing I've noticed is like, as if you're by yourself, you can only do so much. And I'm not at the level that I can start outsourcing and having people take work off me. Mm-hmm. So it's really just where I spend my free time. It's huge. And trying to not take on shit I don't want to, because then it just makes me unhappy. Yeah. Like I've pretty much shut off all video work in my personal business because I hated doing it.
Yeah, it's either you love it or you don't, bro. That's it.
Yeah, I can do it, and if someone wants me to do it, I will. But I'd rather do video for my own personal fun and a little project for it's like a 45-second banger instead of a 3-minute fucking painstaking stupid commercial. Like, fuck that. I'd rather just shoot photos all day. Like, come on, like let me do what I want to do. So that's kind of the biggest thing I've taken away is I value my time way more now.
That's cool.
Good, bro.
That's exciting.
The fuck you guys up to? What have you learned?
I'm just like, wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're just taking it all in, bro.
Yeah. Because we've definitely learned the benefit of having like systems and processes. And so now we're trying to like actually type all those out and have them already set so we can just go back and look to them. And then when we need to hire someone out, we're like, this is how you do it.
I think for us, the biggest obstacle that we're trying to overcome was like at one point we did have like our friend be like our podcast editor, and that was great. And because like we had like at the time we had like finances coming in and it was really good. But then like we hit like a rough patch towards the end of 2019 where like finances just got kind of tight. We were spending money for like Christmas, stuff like that. So it made sense. So we're like, dang, how are we gonna do this? So we basically had to like put a pause on our podcast, and that was basically the end of season 1. Because like you said, I really don't like editing podcasts just because my laptop for some reason just doesn't like me exporting like 25-minute long videos. It's just weird. So I gotta upgrade my shit too. But, like having him edit our podcast really opened up our eyes. We're like, wow, we're helping him out because he's like getting the practice and stuff, but like we're also paying him. But he's helping us out a lot too, because then we have to focus on like scheduling these podcast times. But I think for us, our biggest obstacle is like how we pivot during like hard times. And I think this quarantine time really helped us out a lot too.
Yeah.
Because like literally everything dried up when this quarantine thing came, because like all of our jobs were based off of filming events. So
fuck.
Yeah, like March was basically all
so at the beginning of March, bro, right after we got married, we're like, yo, literally we don't know if like those Cocos Locos is gonna be able to keep going, because like there's no way. There's literally but then that's when we like started thinking about these digital products. We're like, all right, let's try this out. Even if we don't make a lot of money right now, as long as we get like our website right, like lean to Shopify, at least we have all of these like seeds already put in place. So that way, once we come up with another idea, like we can kind of like bring people there. And then that's where like the coconut fire candle came. And then we're like, oh, okay, we already have that. We can just make them real quick, and then people can just go to our website. And literally, bro, when we did that, I don't remember the number off the back of my head, but like the number of visitors on our website just freaking blew up like crazy. Like it was like,
it went up by like 12,000%.
Bro, it's crazy.
And we're like, oh shit.
And we're like, what the heck does that even mean? Because we never really like pushed our website ever.
Yeah.
So,
like it was there as like a resource for you to see like our past work, but it was never something that like we really pushed.
But it showed us a lot. Like when we get jobs, for some reason, it really wasn't from our website and all our past jobs. It's really just from Instagram. So we're like, all right, we have this website here. This could be a potential asset. How can we switch it up? So then that's what we decided to like split it to have like business this way, creatives this way. And in the creative section, we have like playlists that we looked up, like tutorials that we.
Yeah, I've gone through it actually. It's cool. The library.
And
we already had those, so we're like, why don't we just share this?
Yeah, so all we had to do was just organize it and put it on our website so people can like check it out. And then we're like, you know what? Why don't we make our own tutorials off of the tutorials that we saw, so that way people can kind of see us teaching. So like we started like just really thinking about a lot of different stuff, and then that just led to the candle, bro. And the candle was just crazy. And we're like, literally, the candle was selling just because a year ago we decided to start a podcast where we made the sound tag Coconut Fire, and now people can literally, we branded a scent basically, and we're like, freaking crazy. So,
yeah, that's a big move.
So yeah, bro, it's just like we're just little by little, bro. We don't know a lot, but we're just like analyzing the stuff that we've done, and we're like, yo, this makes sense.
So when are you guys gonna put out the next one for the holiday season? Why haven't you planned it out yet?
Damn, we're just trying to get these
we just figured out how to ship, bro.
I know, literally today. We literally hand delivered all of the Tampa ones yesterday, and today we figured out how to ship the rest of them out of state.
And you had someone local make them, right?
Yeah.
So it's a local Tampa business, and
the candle pour.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool because we're like able to benefit them, and then we're also able to benefit as well. So it's like that's how business should work, bro. Like it's like everybody kind of eats kind of mentality.
Yeah, in August you need to figure out what you want to do. In September you need to get the final batch done, and then in October you need to start selling it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because if you have all these people that bought it, and again, this is just a system and a process. All you have to do is write down the exact thing you did, the timeline, how long did it take, when do we need to have it out by, okay, so when do we need to have the scent by, then you know when you're going to, if you know you want to drop it this day and you work backwards, because now you know how long it took. And you have a whole new recipe, and you have all these people's emails that bought the first one. Well, I bet you fucking Tim's going to go buy one for his mom for Christmas, because he just says these are my friends and they're in Tampa and it's a dope local thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then you take all this money times two, because everyone's gonna buy double because they want one for someone else and one for them because it's Christmas time and it's the new sun. Fuck it, they might buy 3.
True. We literally had someone, we were delivering yesterday, and she was like, I usually buy like 3 or 4 candles at a time, but I just didn't want to be greedy because I didn't know how much you guys had. We're like, that's fine. That's fine.
Here's a pre-sale link for the next one, boo.
Yeah.
And come on. I'm not shy about taking your money. Fucking, I need it.
Good. Yeah.
That is fine. So what type of clients are you do you prefer to work with now that you're kind of like building out Bearded Lens?
Ones that pay me.
True.
So what's your ultimate goal though? Because like one thing that we kind of like got stuck to is like, where's all this like money basically going besides like paying rent and all the, like our bills? Like, what's like the ultimate goal?
Or do you have one? Or are you just still like?
You're still in the process, like
of figuring it out.
So my ideal client is a small business that's trying to keep content yearly, fresh content. So basically condensing 3 months of a photo shoot into like a small period, give them all of it and just let them go do it. And then if they want help curating or scheduling posts or doing anything, I'll sell that as the second half of the business, kind of like, helping people just take the time off of someone from scheduling their content.
That makes sense.
You want to save the 5 hours a week, I'll do it for you. I'll tell you what should go where and kind of help you with the captions, almost like a coach. That's something I'm thinking about doing. So like have a business owner call me once a month and like, let's just go over their numbers and shit, and then help them make decisions as external service. I don't have a number and I don't have a plan past what I want to do. So really the only thing I see like me really wanting to finish and kind of being a landmark is like, I want to have property in Florida, like a big enough piece of land that I can just fuck around on and have a dog run and drive the truck. And then, like a rental in North Carolina that can have like an Airbnb for people to go vacation in.
Cool.
So that's, once I get there, I'll be like, once I get close to that, I already know what I want to do after that,
Yeah, we already have like the next step planned out.
Yeah, that's like 15 years out. So like, let's get there, and then by the time I'm 40, hopefully I have a new goal.
That's good, bro.
That's exciting.
I like that. Dude, it's
yeah, I think we have like smaller goals too. I think it's important to have smaller goals because if you only have like that one massive one, it's like, okay, we're working towards it, but you need to have like
it's hard to kind of
smaller wins in there too.
Yeah, it's easier to build a ladder instead of like a ladder to the top of your house than a staircase to heaven.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you can get to the first step, then you can go up to the top of the tree, and then you can go up to the top of your neighbor's house. So then you'll eventually get up there, but like you ain't gonna do it right away.
Yeah. Feel it, bro.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. Well, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, dude, that was fire, bro. So we like to end all our podcasts with this question, and I don't know if you know it, but we'll see how you react.
I've heard this, but I forgot what it was.
Okay, all right, good. So, what we like to do is we like to talk about our struggles because, like, by talking about your struggles, either one, another person can help you out, or two, you might know somebody that might be able to kind of connect you with and like help expedite the process of like overcoming your struggle. So, like, what is something that you're currently struggling right now, and how can they help you? Let the universe know, bro.
What am I struggling with, and how can people help me?
Yep.
I think I have this cool photo up here, so I keep looking at it. I think everyone should just be able to support someone while they're just working. I don't think it should be me, but like with anyone that's trying to build something, at least just give it a thumbs up, even if it's in private. Just tell your friend, like, yo, that's cool. Like, appreciate it. I think you're doing a good job. Like, keep working. Like, that's huge for anyone that's trying to just put a brick down every day, Yeah. Someone that's trying to build something. If you have peers or like my boss is great at it, he's like, hey, you're working hard. Good job. That's all you need.
Good. Okay, bro. Like a nice pat on the back, bro, to like
showcase
that you're doing something, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't need people to give me money or buy anything for me, or I don't really care about that. But as long as someone gives you a thumbs up, that's all I really need.
Oh, bro.
That's true. I feel like that really helps. It just helps, like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah. I remember when we were first starting, like when we just put some stuff out and we got like 5 likes, we're like, oh shit.
We're like, yeah.
Rage. Yeah.
Like this. Let's go.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Good, bro. That's good, man. Well, Jake, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast.
Yes. Where can people?
Finally.
Yeah.
Where can people find me?
Yes.
So I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. So one thing I want everyone to do that watches this, I am gonna be starting a free education Facebook group. So with photo tips, video tips, all that. So I want everyone to join the Beardo Lens Photography School, or give it a like on Facebook. It's a page. I'm officially starting that today. And then find me on Instagram at Beardo Lens. And then I just put all my client work up there. So
nice. I'm gonna put all the links in the description.
Cool.
All right, bro. Well, thank you, man. Make everybody that watch/listen to the podcast, make sure to like, follow, give it a rating. It really helps out a lot. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace. Before we end this podcast, I just want to give a huge shout out to EV47. He's the one that made the beat for the beginning and end of this podcast. So you should definitely check him out because he's dope. And yeah, peace.
Yes.